Today I will be going over which type is the best. And my opinion might slightly be taking rule without me noticing, but this is based on what the world likes in Pokemon, and we shall see which typing is the best. I know a lot of PokeTubers do what is the best Pokemon, Legendary, etc. Well, nobody ever really does best type, so I'm going to show you guys this. So how this will work is I'm going to have rounds, and each round will have a winner, and each round also has a theme. So this round 1 is Generation 1's best 3 and worst 2 typings. First place gets 3 points, second place gets 2 points, third place gets 1 point, second to last gets -1 points, and last gets -2 points. So for Generation 1, this might be surprising, but Flying actually won just based on all of the popular flying Pokemon. Charizard, Dragonite, Scyther, even Gyarados. And the starter bird is liked in Gen 1 more than any other gen. And liked more than most flying types. Second place goes to Poison, which includes Gengar, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, and Venusaur, which are all highly liked Pokemon. And third place goes to Fire. Although there aren't particularly many fire types in this region, the Pokemon that are fire types in this region include very popular Pokemon consisting of the Charizard, Arcanine, and Ninetales lines, which you can't argue with me that are all extremely popular. Second to last place is Steel type, for only having 2 Pokemon who aren't particularly liked in any way. No offense to them. And last place goes to Dark, which for obvious reasons of not having any Pokemon of that type in that region. So Flying wins round 1. Round 2. The winner of round 2 is Steel type. Although Gen 2 does not have many popular Pokemon in general, some of the popular Pokemon it does have are Scizor and Steelix. So I'd say they're rather popular, especially from all the options of Pokemon in Generation 2. Second place gets to Psychic for Espeon, which is definitely very popular. Lugia, which is popular, not too much though. Celebi, same, a little less than Lugia, and Wobbuffet, a little less than Celebi. Third place goes to Water type, just mainly because of Suicune. Suicune is one of the most popular legendaries. And then there's Totodile, Marill, and Wooper, who are all also rather popular. Second to last place is Ghost type for having only Mischievous, who isn't particularly a very popular Pokemon. And last place is Dragon, because it only has Kingdra, which is barely even deserves the title of Dragon type. So Steel won round 2, Generation 2's best 3 and worst 2. Round 3, as you could have guessed, it's Generation 3's best 3 and worst 2. Dragon type wins round 3, which was very obvious. Rayquaza alone gives it the win, but Salamence and Flygon boost it higher even more. Psychic gets second place because of Gardevoir and Metagross, which are also decently popular. And third place goes to Flying for the exact same reason as Dragon, except it's third instead of second because they're kind of just like all the Dragon types have Flying type, and Dragon types, there are less Dragon types, so that's like why. I think you understand. Second to last place is Bug for having absolutely no Pokemon in Gen 3 who are even close to being popular. And last place is Poison for the same reason, but also have very few Pokemon of that typing even in the region at all, which might be better than second to last, but I don't really know. So round 4 is the same except with Generation 4. Generation 4 was very hard for me to do because it has many, many popular Pokemon. So if I got this wrong, then feel free to correct me in the comments, but I'm not remaking the video. Fighting type gets first easily, and nobody can argue with this for me. Riolu, Lucario, and Infernape, and then Glade boosts a little more. But Riolu, Lucario, and Infernape being some of the most popular Pokemon of all time, you can't argue with me on this one. Dragon type did actually come in a close second, though, because of Palkia, Dialga, Giratina, and Garchomp. And then Steel type gets third because of Lucario, Dialga, and Empoleon. Second to last place is Poison for not having any particularly popular Pokemon in that region. Last place is Bug for having mostly hated Pokemon in round 4. I will be showing you the final results of which typing wins. For Generation 5, Dark takes the win with having Crocodile, Scraggy, Zoroark, and I'm sorry if I spelled that wrong, and Dino. Dragon type is a very close second due to Axew, Reshiram, and Zekrom, and the Dino line, except Dino gets excluded because it's in both. But I thought that the Dark was slightly more popular than Dragon. And then third type goes to Fire because of Victini, mostly Tepig, Darumaka, Litwick, and Reshiram. Very similar to Generation 3, there aren't very many particularly popular Pokemon in this region. Second to last place goes to Poison because it doesn't have any loved Pokemon. And last place is Fairy, who has only 2 Pokemon of that type in it, who are definitely not liked. Cottony and what's its evolved form name? Whimswirl. Anyway, I don't think anybody cares about that. And if you do, then tell me in the comments. Round 6. Fairy moves up from last place and takes the win in Generation 6 because Generation 6 has quite very few Pokemon that I never noticed until I did this video. But just from having Dedenne and Sylveon, who are very popular, Fairy takes the win. Dragon takes second place from Goodra, Tyrant, Noivern, and Zygarde. And third place is Water, purely for having Greninja. Now, I know that Greninja is more popular than Rayquaza, and I said that Rayquaza took it alone, but I feel like because there are a lot more few Pokemon in Generation 6, having multiple Pokemon that are almost as popular as just one Pokemon does take it, even though Rayquaza alone would have won that. But if you don't feel the same way, again, tell me in the comments. And second to last place is Bug for only having Vivian, who's liked, and I'm not even sure if that's very true, but I know Vivian isn't a hated Pokemon, so Generation 6 has a lot of very liked Pokemon. Generation 4 and 6 have very, very big amount of liked Pokemon. And last place goes to Poison for having 2 unliked Pokemon. So, yeah. Round 7, Generation 7, the winner is Ice type. And the reason of that is just because of Alolan Ninetales. And the reason that I have Ice instead of Fairy is because the Fairy type for Alolan Ninetales is just kind of an add-on, while Ninetales is, like, mainly coursed Ice type. So, if you understand what I mean by that, Ghost type gets second place purely because of Mimikyu. So, again with the same thing as Greninja. So, even though that doesn't really make sense. Okay, I just tried my best. This is kind of hard to do, trying to judge other people. You know what I mean. All right. Next is Rock type in third place because of Rockruff and Lycanroc. And second to last place goes to Poison for having no loved Pokemon in this region. And last place goes to Ground for having Pokemon not only not loved, but also some hated Pokemon like Sandygast. Round 8 is easily Dragon without any thought. Dragapult, Hisuian Goodra, Albatross, Arctofish, the Applin line, and more. So I didn't even put them all because there's so many. Dragon type completely sways this round. And a very far second goes to Dark type just because of Morpeko, Zarude, and Nickit, which it autocorrected. I apologize for that. Third place is Bug, surprisingly, because of Kleavor and Snom. And I have no idea why you guys like Snom so much, but you guys do, so Snom is up here. And second to last place is Ground for having okay Pokemon at best. And last place goes to Rock for the same reason as Ground. Now, I didn't do Generation 9 because I don't know very much about how much people like the Pokemon in it yet because it hasn't been around for too long. So that is not in here. But round 9, I do have legendary and mythical Pokemon, and Dragon takes first place with Dialga, Palkia, Latios, Latias, and most of all, Rayquaza. Second goes to Flying type with Lugia and Rayquaza to blame. And third place goes to Dark, mainly because of Darkrai, but also help from Urshifu and Zarude. Second to last place goes to Grass for not having any popular legendaries. Like, if you care about Verizon, tell me in the comments, but I don't care about Verizon. Or, I've never really seen it because I don't watch anime. I only watch anime and I didn't see that region, so yeah. And last place goes for Rock for the same reason as Grass. Yeah. So now I will show you the scoreboard, and I think you can automatically guess that Dragon got first. Okay, that is an autocorrect. Dragon is actually supposed to be 13 with a very high lead. Second place, Flying with 6 points. Third place, Dark with 4 and tied with Psychic. Then Fighting, Steel, and Ice all tied with 3. Fire and Water tied with 2. Fairy, Ghost tied with 1. Electric and Normal tied with 0 because they didn't have anything. Rock and Grass tied with -1. Bug got -3. Ground got -4. And Poison got -5. So our supreme champion, most liked typing of all, is awarded to Dragon type. Even though it says 1, it's actually supposed to be 13. Thank you for watching if you made it up to this point.